will be coming your way shortly. And of course, Harambee Stars mauled 4-1 by the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. They meet again tonight, or rather this evening, at the Nambole Stadium in Kampala, Uganda. Can Engine Firat change that around? Steve-O, what do you think? 4-1 mauling in Yaoundé.
We have an opportunity to correct the mistakes we made, more so in the goalkeeping department. When I saw Matasi up in the goal, I concluded that match even before it started. Why? Because the last 4 matches he has been in goal, we've been conceding very, very useless goals, if I may call them so. And probably, I don't know what Firat was trying out. I've known him to be a very creative coach. Runi Onyango somehow played out of position. I don't know what the boys were up to, but there is a time that we really controlled the game, only for Matasi to let in that easy goal. To speak, that game should have ended 1-1 were it not for the defensive mistakes and the goalkeeping mistakes. But as Zita says, yaliyopita Sindwele, we are focusing on the match today. Firat has an opportunity to correct the mistakes, probably to start Brian Omondi in goal, because he has done so well against Zimbabwe, so well against Namibia, and probably try and strengthen his midfield, because we were really bossed by Cameroon. They were physical, and the fans were so loud. Probably that would have contributed to the loss. But going into today's game, we are at home, no fans. I think that gives us no pressure, and I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic with the national team. We might nick a win, and probably Namibia can also rise to the occasion and have a win against Zimbabwe.
Zita, before you go to the touch screen, tell us, the goalkeeping department has been a concern. Not once, not twice, not thrice. What's really happening?
You know, we cannot blame about the goalkeeping department to Engine Firat, because one thing that I know is that we have a goalkeeper trainer that chooses this is the best the best choice that I have for today's game.
By and large, Zita, the coach takes overall responsibility.
Overall responsible, but each and every department has someone who is doing what, who is leading it. So you have to come back.
I just think
I'm not
you have to come back together and give the reason.
I'm not buying that, Zita. Look here. Let me use the Manchester United setup. We have the goalkeeping coach who is responsible to the head coach, what they call the manager. And we've seen managers sign new keepers and change actually the number one. So in this, Firat is the final stop. He has to take responsibility.
The final stop, but he takes where? He takes all all the being given. They have to come to the table. All the department, the trainers of all department. It doesn't matter if the strikers, doesn't matter if it's the goalkeeper. He did not play the other 2 matches, actually, against Namibia and against Zimbabwe. And again, maybe they thought maybe he's a good choice because of the experience he has. Because of the experience he has, that is a good choice to play against Cameroon. So the mistake was not about the coach choosing the goalkeeper or the goalkeeper training goalkeeping the goalkeeper. They gave him a chance to do his best. But now you can see what happened.
But
so we cannot take the blame to the coach or what.
I think the coach was just being democratic, because the first 2 games, Brian was
in football.
Yes, has been on the bench.
But Brian Omondi did a very good job.
As a coach, you don't change a winning formula.
You don't change a winning formula, right?
He was man of the match against Orlando Pirates in South Africa. He just signed recently with his team in South Africa. So he was the man of the match there. But again, that's why I'm saying, according to the experience that Matasi has, he has played very big games. And that's why coach
Matasi reminds me of a goalkeeper called, you remember Victor Waweru? Yeah? He reminds me of Victor Waweru. And I think, let us call a spade a spade. If age is catching up with Matasi, I think the best thing for the coach, which Zita is saying that it's not Firat who made the decision. But I think Firat has an overall responsibility of naming the squad.
But from the coaching trainer that has given him what
No. He has his own analysis as a coach.
Brenda, what do you make of, first of all, the tactical formation we had against the Cameroonians?
You remember last week I said Firat needs to settle. Firat needs to have a consistent squad. You do not change a winning squad. I mean, if you do not have injuries, then, or rather, if your best is out, you can only bring in your best. But in this case, Matasi is not the best. He has proven time over. I mean, the past matches that Matasi has played, he's always conceded very useless goals. Or if you're not, I mean, when was the last time Matasi kept a clean sheet? You do not change your winning formula. And with this, number one, there is the issue of Firat having played almost everyone out of position. What was Rooney doing in defense? Why? Rooney is known to be creative. Why push him to just do the defense in the entire match? You're denying him the opportunity to make goals. I mean, it did not count for anything that Marcelo was as brilliant as he's always been, because then how then do you how good you are in that particular match if you're not going to make for goals, if you do not have anyone else to pass the ball to save for Olunga, who again may be out of today's game because of those injuries. So I am a very worried Kenyan this evening, because in the absence of Olunga, in the absence of Omuro, in the absence of Omija, in the absence of Okumu, who then are we looking at? I mean, the defense is already in shambles, in as much as fine. Matasi is as bad as he is, but he was exposed by having the poor defense line. So in the absence of all these four, what options do we have?
Absolutely. Yeah. And actually for me, Emmanuel, I'm struggling to understand Coach Firat's philosophy. Yeah, he's been here for over 3 years. He seems not to have gotten his tactical formations right. What his playing philosophy, and even as we tackle the Lions today, probably, what's your prognosis? How could it go? What must he change?
Well, of course, the buck stops with him. He's the one who makes the decisions. 4-1 is a large deficit to overturn. So I'm not sure if that will be possible tonight. But of course, playing all these players out of position, and of course, questions in the goalkeeping department, these are things that urgently need to be fixed. And I'm not sure how many of them can be done tonight. But we'll just have to see how it turns out. I'm sure he has to make some changes tonight, and we'll just have to see what he does.
And of course, that's raising a heated debate, and that actually forms the question of the day where we're asking you, what must the Stars change as they battle the Lions this evening at the Nambole Stadium in Kampala? What must the Stars address to get a favorable result against the Cameroonians? Talk to us, 22422, hashtag Sporty Monday. And of course, we are also on social media. You can X us at Isaac Swiller, at ZTGMoy. And of course, we will be sampling your feedback. And what should Harambee Stars change to defeat Cameroon in the 2025 AFCON qualifier return leg today? That match will go down from 4 p.m. And of course, we want to hear your thoughts. We'll be sampling some of them shortly, and of course, at the tail end of the program.